The United States is showing mixed progress towards flattening the curve on number of deaths from COVID-19. Internationally, in some much-needed good news, many of the hardest-hit countries are seeing their death rates dropping to levels not seen since mid-March. Good morning. It's May 5th, 2020. I'm Zank from Bennett Data Science for today's update on the COVID-19 recovery graphs, where you'll see how states and countries are recovering from COVID-19. Let's start here with the United States view. Look at New York. Not flattening as quickly as we would have hoped, but flattening nonetheless. We want to see this orange curve, the number of new deaths per day, dropping down towards zero. Look at New Jersey, oscillating, I believe, largely due to how deaths are reported. We see this oscillatory behavior occurring, but the drops aren't week over week, they're not going down. So I'm a bit concerned about where New Jersey is heading. Let's hope that this drop is lower than it was back on April 26th. Maybe in a day or two, we'll see that number come up. Michigan showing a big drop. Again, this oscillating behavior, but it is headed downward. Massachusetts still pretty high, but it looks like they've passed maybe the middle here. And this, again, oscillatory behavior will continue to drive this peak down. What we're looking for is a flattening of this blue curve. So if we sort of take a look way back here, you can see New York on the blue curve, just the blue curve. You can see it's starting to flatten here at the top. You could imagine this just going off and flattening. When that's flat, it means there are no more new deaths. We've reached the maximum that are going to occur. All the other blue lines here look as though they're still heading upwards. California, for example, oscillating a bunch, but these oscillations aren't really dropping as a trend. Same with Louisiana, maybe barely dropping day over day. Maryland had a big peak back just about a week ago and is again oscillating, and let's hope that this continues to drop down. Georgia has had some of the biggest oscillations over the past few weeks. Again, they're showing low numbers on May 3rd and May 4th. But it could come right back up the way it has in past weeks. So we're going to keep an eye on all of this. Virginia heading up, and it doesn't look like there is any break for Virginia just yet. Washington going quite low, and let's hope it stays there. Minnesota going up. North Carolina, a lot of variability in the reporting here. Same with a lot of the states down towards the bottom. Rhode Island, our smallest state, showing quite a big peak, or big jump rather, in the number of new deaths per day over the last couple days. Let's switch over and look at the United States, look at the world map. Internationally, you can see this oscillatory behavior of all the states in the United States contributing here to the all of the values in one plot. And we see this oscillating, but we don't necessarily see it dropping very much. Sure, it's low today or yesterday at just over 1,300, but only a week before it was up to 2,612. Reports I'm hearing on the news say that this could go as high as 3,000 new deaths per day. That's not what we want. We want to go in the other direction. The new deaths per day dropping down towards zero. Let's look at some of the countries that are doing well. Italy has dropped below 200 deaths per day, a rate that it hasn't seen since March 14th. To go way back to March 14th to see that number of 175, and then it went up to 368 and went up from there. So this is really good news for a country that's been hit so hard by COVID-19. United Kingdom oscillating a bunch, but driving downward. If you take a step back and look, it appears like this orange curve is oscillating but heading down. That's great news. Same for Spain. Spain saw 0 deaths on May 1st, which is probably how they're reporting them. But again, this number of new deaths per day, that rate is dropping. Same with France. Just look at the blue curve, and it's really looking like it's flattening. And look next door at Belgium, which literally is next door as well. And same with Germany. All of these countries, France, Belgium, Germany, looking like this blue curve is starting to flatten, as you can see by the orange new deaths per day driving down towards zero. Netherlands also oscillating a bunch, which is probably due to how and when they're reporting, but they're down on May 4th, yesterday, to only 26 deaths per day. Let's hope this keeps dropping down to zero. I think we're fairly close to seeing some countries really flatten this curve and only show a few new deaths per day, which is, 0 deaths per day is the goal. We can get some of these countries down to really, really low new death per day rate. That is this flattening. Look at Switzerland. It looks like they've really flattened up at the top. They are really driving downward. It's oscillating, sure, but this orange, thicker curve, which is a smoothed version of the red curve, is really, really heading down. That's great news. India, on the other hand, going straight up here at the end, and this is not good news for India. We'll keep an eye on that country. Ireland showed a peak and then really dropping down, so they're flattening. Peru, hopefully they're past the worst of it, and this is going to drive down. So I'll leave the rest for you to take a look at yourself. I hope that you're well, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.